Yo, Laurent.
There is a new leader, a new top place team, and there's about to be a new champion.
Are we talking about the predictions leaderboard? Because you're fumbling it?
No, no,
Damn.
no, no,
I
no,
didn't
no,
I
no,
didn't know you were calling out CJ. CJ's
no,
gonna
no,
go
no.
back to back.
No, we're talking about
Wow.
we're talking about the
I'm
Premier League.
so proud of you.
Remember, we do things in
Wow.
structure here. We do things in structure.
Wow.
We do things in structure here. I'm talking about the Premier League.
Well, I didn't know what you were talking about. You said a new leader, and I'm proud
Yeah,
of you for
yeah,
admitting
yeah.
that you're fumbling.
The city. Come on, man. Get your head
Is
in the
that
game, bro.
wait, are you a City fan now because Chelsea's in the
I'm a
dirt?
I'm a I'm an anti-Arsenal fan. I can
You're an
tell you that much.
anti-Arsenal fan.
Anti-Arsenal.
Are you
Anti-Arsenal.
an anti-Arsenal fan because of me?
I'm an anti-Arsenal fan.
I think over 101 episodes I've made Laurent an anti-Arsenal fan.
And I must admit, man, as an anti-Arsenal fan, it's a moment of joy and pride to see that I mean, just a month ago, you guys were first. 9 points, I think it was. Right? How
Yes.
many points?
I think it was
Mm,
nine. Maybe it was six. Maybe it was
mm,
12. I don't know.
mm. Yeah, you guys had a lead, bro. You guys were like Usain Bolt right there at the finish line. And unfortunately, come present time, that is no longer the case.
I didn't know whether we were at game 38 when you're saying at the finish line.
Pretty much at the finish line. It's
Pretty
finished.
much.
Yeah, we're pretty much there. Yeah.
30 and 38 are the same?
Wait, what? How many games left?
Five.
Five, right? 33 out of 38. What's the percentage on that?
No, but you're saying, but
Wait,
you're
what's it?
saying that, but you're saying that when we were in the lead, we were at the finish line. So I just want to try to understand the context of what you're getting at.
Yeah, pretty much at the finish line,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty much there. You can see
Is
it.
it factual? Is it by the letter of the law? I just want to understand the context of what we're speaking.
What, that we're pretty much at the end of the season. I mean, there's one more context you want.
No, I
One
just,
more.
I just want to be very clear at what we're discussing here.
I mean, what's clear is that clearly you guys have the inability to hold the lead. That's clear, right?
Okay.
Um, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. That you guys are on the verge of making history.
On the verge of making history in both senses, eh?
While I'd say more so leaning towards you guys not getting over the line. That
And you're
kind of
willing to
history.
put your money on it?
In regards to that, personally, I don't think it's a favorable um
Wow.
definitely not favorable for me. I will say this. I will say this, but
You're kind of then killing your whole argument about it being over at this point with 33 games
Well,
played out of 38.
listeners, viewers, it took
I'm
101
hold
episodes,
on, hold
and
on,
you
hold on.
guys are still realizing that Laurent is all talk, all
Hold on.
smoke,
Who
does not
said
want to
who
put
said
his
it's
where his
over?
mouth
Who
is.
who said it's over?
You
In this,
did.
no, 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 wait. In
You
this,
did.
did I say it's over? Did
You
I?
yes, you did, but
I
you're
Yeah,
acting like it's
you
wait.
you
Hold on,
over.
pretty
hold
much
on.
you might as well have at this
No, no,
point.
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. You don't insinuate, right? You don't insinuate. It's either I say it's over or I'm alluding to the fact that you guys are bottling, right?
Oh, so you are alluding to the fact that we're bottling, but
Right?
by bottling means that it's over. So you are
No.
essentially
But
insinuating that it's over.
bottling is an act, right? Like I'm
Hmm.
falling over. Like I'm
Hmm.
falling, right? I'm in the process of falling.
Oh, so
You know what
it's
I'm
not
saying?
so now it's not over. So now the finish line is not there yet.
The
So as
finish
soon
line
as
is
money
there.
gets involved, it's not over, CJ. So we
No, no,
catch
no.
his
The
drift now.
the finish line is there. I think we
Oh,
all
okay.
I think we all see the finish line, right? I'm pretty sure we can all understand that the finish line is there. However, right?
But not yet, right? As
Huh?
but not yet, right? Like to Murdoch's point, because again, we're only at game week 33, but you are acting like it's game week 38. But now
I
you're
mean, there's five
doubling
games.
back and
There's
saying,
there's
"Oh no, no,"
five
but I
games.
didn't say it's done yet, and now it's not. The odds are not in my favor. So you're acting like it's done. It's done. Now City's top of the league. That the finish line is in sight. I mean, top of the league, but
Yeah, these are
both
bro.
teams are
These are
level on points after 33 games.
yeah, but
So you know what I
again,
mean? Like it's not
again,
quite over, is it?
no, no, no.
Mathematically.
no one said it's over mathematically.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no one. Right, right. I think we can all agree to that. That no one said it's over mathematically. What I am
No.
saying
But the way
is,
that you're talking, it sounds like it's over and
Yeah, you
Arsenal's
would have
done,
thought
and
that, we're getting
we've
ready for the
already
World Cup
lost it.
now.
We have zero chance. The percentage is zero. It's already over. I just want to clarify because that's the
the
energy you're
percentage
coming in.
the percentage is definitely not zero. It's fine if you wanna think it that way, but the percentage is definitely not zero. I
Oh
think
no, I'm the one who's
I think
saying that we're gonna win.
again, you say, bro, on Monday, Tuesdays you say different things. Wednesday, Thursdays, different, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't trust what you say at this
CJ, did I
point.
say different things in the group? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
To be
I,
fair, from the beginning of the season, you said we were winning the league. So that's your
We're all
stand.
gonna pretend like we haven't heard otherwise. But anyways, that's beside the point.
and we're
Um,
all gonna pretend like you didn't say that Chelsea are gonna be Centurion and Enzo Maresca is gonna be the manager of the year
no, you
and
you
Cole
don't
Palmer is
you
gonna be
don't
the
you don't
PFA Player of the Year.
you don't have to pretend because that's on recording. We don't have to
Okay.
pretend, right?
Okay.
Right? That's on
I
recording. You
just
see, that's a difference.
Yeah,
You
but it is
you
on
can call me.
recording that I've always
No,
said
no,
that
no.
Arsenal are
You
gonna win the league, and when you
you
challenged me about the Champions League,
hold
I
on.
also said we're gonna win the Champions League.
Hold on. I'm talking about the things that aren't in recording, by the way, right? Where
Oh,
where you
so
can
we're bringing
weasel,
external things in.
yeah, where you can weasel your way out of it, right? Because again, right,
Oh,
right.
okay. Oh,
And the
so
thing
we're
is,
back to this argument of bringing things that are not on recording to use against someone else. What was the word that I used last part? Shameless? Is that the word that I use?
oh,
So
there's
you
no,
can't
there's,
make an argument in this context. So you have to bring external things to
of course, because
justify your
those are
means.
definitely valid. Those are definitely
Wow.
valid. Those are
Wow.
definitely
That's
valid. Those are what do you
that's that that's
what
funny. I remember when I was in
what?
grade school making arguments about things that were irrelevant in the present argument. Not a problem.
What kind? I
Not
don't
a
personally. I
problem.
don't even understand the reasoning you're making here.
It's
As
not
if
a
you can say
problem.
something out of vacuum and suddenly you can't use that in any way, shape, or form. But anyways,
Mm,
my
mm.
point. My point is this: that I think every Arsenal fan should be very concerned at this point, um, given the history. Right? We're not gonna just sit there and pretend like giving up this lead, everything is cozy, everything's good, because it's not. You guys, right? You guys want to put on this performance, this facade that oh, you guys are comfortable here. But truly, are you guys truly comfortable given this position that you're in right now? Given the fact that you've allowed your boogeyman to have this advantage where all they have to do now is just keep winning.
I remember, since we're talking about off-screen conversations,
Hmm.
off-air
By,
conversations.
by all means, bro. Like, again, if I've said anything outside of this, by all means, bring it to the table and I'll own up to it. There's none of that weaseling, hiding, or whatever else you guys like to do. So yeah.
I'm just saying,
Hmm.
Your Honor, I'm just saying that whilst Murdad maybe said one or two things offline in the moment, emotional, upset, reactionary after the game, weren't you the one that came back in response to us Arsenal fans who were panicking and crashing out saying, chill the fuck out. It's not over yet.
I did.
City still need to go on and win all these games. City still need to do this. Goal difference is in your favor. Weren't you the one that said that?
I did. I
Oh,
did.
okay, okay,
I did. But mind you,
okay, okay.
and you are right. You are right.
All right.
I think I said
Mic
that on
drop.
I said that on the back of multiple games. And I think the last time I said this was probably like a few weeks back.
Mhm.
Now, when I said that, I could not have expected that we would be here today and that you guys would put yourselves in this position.
But what is
Why
today? Like I
not?
hear what you're saying, but again, you're acting. The season is not over. It's not over. We're at game week 33. So your energy is coming as if it's game week 38 and it's all been wrapped up and it's done and dusted. When you're the same person that told all of us Arsenal fans to chill the fuck out because it's not done yet.
Hmm.
So let's just wait before all this energy, right? Let's
No,
just wait.
you are right in the sense that it is not over. But what I'm telling you is that when you take in the factors at hand, that one, it's City, one, it's Pep. I'm telling you right now, bro, you have any other manager, any other team in this situation, and I'm pretty sure there's a sigh of relief on your end because you can count that the experience isn't there. You see what I'm saying? The pedigree is not there to for them to pull it off. But with this team and this manager, bro, it's like you do not want to give them that like the possibility. The like, bro, Pep said we have to beat Arsenal or else the league is over. You guys remember that? Prior to facing you guys, right? Pep said if we don't win this game, it's done. Right? You guys had one job on that day. And now, at this point, that team very much looks like, yo, we can actually, we can do this, right? And even with the Burnley game, I know we'll cover that, right? It was 1-0, and I know the sentiment is
Could have
that,
been
well,
1-1.
right? So there's that too. But I look at it as the point is, bro, these guys are going to do everything to scrape by. See what I'm saying? Even if they're facing a Burnley and it's a 1-0, they're just gonna make sure to get the result. And like, if I'm an Arsenal fan, bro, I'm very concerned because it's not the position you want to be in. Bro, you guys had 9 points, man. Like, we're not gonna pretend like, yo, this is what we want. You know what I mean? If we're Arsenal fans, we no one would want to.
Yeah, but who said that we're pretending? We said that we gave up the lead in December when
Mhm.
when City was in shambles.
No,
I
but
think you're just
I feel like you guys are looking too comfortable for my liking,
No,
personally.
but see,
oh,
this is where I have to challenge that because
what?
again,
Yeah, like
your narrative and
mhm.
your rhetoric for us is to relax, is to chill the fuck out because we're still there, we're still thereabouts. So when Murdad was having a moment and crashing out and whatever, you were, playing therapist and telling him to chill out and telling us all to chill out and relax. So why should we not be, So you can't double down now and say,
Oh,
oh,
so wait, now you're
you
saying
guid look too relaxed. Like,
so
which
now
one is it, bro? Which side are you?
wait, hold on.
Should we be
So
encouraged, coach, or should we be down tools and just say give up now? You know what I mean? Like, which one is it? Which side are you playing?
okay, wait, so you tell me, right? Is now the time to be relaxed if I'm an Arsenal fan? Because I gotta know. Like back then when I said relax, sure, maybe you're getting a bit nervy, but just relax. You're still right. You still have that lead, that buffer. But now there is no buffer. So I'm assuming if you're panicking then sure as hell you're fucking panicking now.
Yeah, because the panicking, from what I've always told you, even conversations that me and you have had personally, from what I've always told you, it's the panic comes from maybe not what's happening in the moment, but it's the
Mm,
PTSD. So I, speaking for myself, could have foreshadowed that this was going to happen because at that time, that there was probably that panic. We had dropped points in whatever game it was. You're foreshadowing that this inevitable thing is going to happen. City is going to beat us. They are going to jump ahead of us at some point. And look, we are here now, right? So it's one of those things as an Arsenal fan, it's the PTSD. The loss on that day, whatever game that was, means you're foreshadowing that something like this is going to happen.
mm,
That's what it's about. So
mhm,
from my point of view, at least, and again, we're all telling our truths here. It's therapy sessions. We're all coming out clean. I did say I've lost faith that we will win the league from this point onwards. Like if you asked me today, gun to my head, I did say I think we fumbled it and given ourselves too much to do, and I think that from this point onwards, City will probably win the league. That's my opinion. Um, and I'm fine by saying that. I'm fine by admitting that. That's just how I feel. But there's only so long I can dwell on that loss from last week because we have to go again, right? And the players can't think like that. The players have to think that there's still a chance. And just something I wanted to point out with, your thing about saying, that the Burnley City game. And I know we're going to cover that game because it was very interesting from the way it played out. But, you said something not too long ago, and you said, oh, City, pretty much will do all it takes to win by scraping out that 1-0 win against Burnley, right? Which is a funny narrative because prior to that game, we all expected that City was probably going to run up the goal difference and win that game by 3, 4 goals, right? So pre-game, when that's what we're thinking, and post-game that doesn't happen, and it's only a 1-0, and you're watching that game, and you're watching the end of that game, and Pep and all the coaches on the sidelines are looking edgy and nervy, and
mm.
the camera's panning to the City fans in the crowd in that Burnley game, and fans are covering their eyes, right? Man City fans against Burnley, a relegated side, right? Do you know what I mean? But again, not just your fault alone, but similar people will have a narrative like yours post game. City, they did whatever it took to win by beating Burnley 1-0, scraping by 1-0. If that was Arsenal, it's like, they're stumbling over the line by only beating a Burnley side 1-0. But what you're saying. So I'm surprised that I'm not surprised, but your take is that, oh, well, look, they did whatever it took to win. Like that's the narrative, really? Like, meanwhile, and you're saying us Arsenal fans should be uncomfortable with that, but I'd argue the opposite. It's like a little bit encouraging. It's like, okay, City and their fans and the whole club, even Pep, the most experienced managers, are clearly feeling a little bit of that pressure too, where you go away to Burnley, people expected you to run up the goal difference. You only win 1-0 in the end. Pep is standing there on the sidelines 20th of the game, like I said, looking a little bit nervy, looking a little bit edgy. And now that goal difference isn't even in fact, significantly ahead of ours. In fact, the goal difference is level.
Goal
And
difference is though it's just because from goals scored.
right.
But if we score and our goal difference goes up by one and we don't concede this weekend, we're up on points and goal differential.
So it's like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like, interesting that you look at it like that, and maybe the rivals and pundits and haters will look at it like that, where it's like, look, they got over the line, they found a way to, even though they only won 1-0. It's a positive narrative. You see what I'm saying? Whereas again, you look at it the other way around. Maybe if we did that, right, it's like, there goes Arsenal again, stumbling over the line, winning 1-0 against a poor Burnley team. Like, so I would argue after that game, I'm a little bit more encouraged than I would have been because I was expecting a 4-0 thrashing and I was expecting them to look convincing and dominate entirely. Whereas it's only 1-0. And again, the goal difference is now level. The points are now level. So it's game on, as far as I'm concerned, across the board. Arteta called
And
it a 5-game shootout,
yeah,
a new mini league between the two. So it's kind of at this point, right? If that's how they're kind of, not struggling because they probably should have been more clinical in that game and put away their chances against Burnley. But if that's how they're playing and only 1-0 against, bottom of the league Burnley, then they have much tougher fixtures to come. So what's going to happen in those kind of games? You see what I'm saying? So that's where there's still some twists and turns as far as I'm concerned.
No,
and to your
I see.
point about
Yeah, yeah.
oh sorry.
No, go on, go on.
No, I was gonna say to your point about being relaxed and like not being panicky. Maybe it's because we've been here 3 years in a row. Maybe we just know what to expect. And we've done it 3 years in a row where we've been nervy and panicky. And now we're just like, okay, well, we're in this position. Let's try something different. As a fan base, like you can't have the Emirates being nervy and groaning and things like that. You have to pick them up. Like the first year when we were in the title race, when no one expected us to be in the title race. That's what the next 5 games has to be. There's no question we put ourselves in this position back in December. There's games in December, January that we should like, and even early February that we should have never been in this position. But we're here now. What's like? Are we gonna keep dwelling on the past? Or are we gonna say, okay, what's the hand that we're dealt, and how do we make sure that this isn't the fourth time in a row? Rather than just being like, oh, blah, 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 it's over, it's this. It's like, okay, well, it's technically not over, and I don't think it's over, and I think we will win.
Well, I mean, yeah, definitely time will tell on this. And again, I think Arteta and the boys are gonna have to carry out that verdict on behalf of the fans.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
2 or 3 pods ago, when you said if Arteta wins one of the two, and I responded to you that I still want him gone. Now, do you see why I said I still want him gone, or you don't?
I mean, I think it's understandable that especially given the fact that you guys are in this situation, I think it's understandable that you guys would want him gone. Plus the performance for me, the style of play. Um, like I think you can find a better manager, right, to increase the attack, right, the
I
dynamic.
wouldn't. I would challenge you. Sorry, Lauren. I would
Mhm.
challenge you on the fact that a better manager. I think we'd find a more brave manager to actually like give more license. Because Arteta is a very good manager. He's a very good coach. His tactics are sound.
Mm,
That's the only reason why we've been in this position for 4 years in a row.
mm.
So there's no question about that. But a brave manager, yes, a manager that's willing to take risks early in the year and rest his players. That's what we need.
Hmm.
Right? Like that's the issue. Why is it that in that game against Man City we can play such beautiful football and then you resort like we played Bayern, played such beautiful football, played Inter, right? Played Atletico, and then you pull up with shit against Wolves. How does that work? That's the issue with Arteta. And the only way that I'll say right now, the only way that I would accept Arteta staying is the double. Even if he wins one of them at this from this point on, I still want him gone. Even if he wins us our first Champions League and we lose the Premier League, I want him gone. Because how do you tell your players to be like, okay, well, we won the Champions League, but on the Prem kick on? No, no, that 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 wouldn't work for me.
Yeah. Well, on that note, to all our viewers who've crossed on over, I think we've managed to have a pretty decent and toned down banter section. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, make sure to like, subscribe. We're here again, back with another episode. What are we on? 101?
101, yeah. HR phoned Laurent and I and said, "Hey, tone it down before I give you guys both tickets." So,
All right,
we had
right.
to
Yeah,
tone it
we're
down a bit.
but yeah, no, so we're back. We're back again with another one. And yeah, no, so we're truly gonna cover a lot of good stuff on this pod. Yeah, man. So make sure you tune in for the rest of the episode.
Well, on that good stuff that we're covering, the West Side of London, the West Side of London, again, they got their booties handled. And wait, can someone remind me when was the last time Chelsea scored a goal?
5 games ago, I think, or more than 5 games. Yeah, this is
One,
since
two, three, four. The last time you guys scored a goal, if we're gonna count the FA Cup, it was 7 against Port Vale. But I'm assuming we're not gonna count that. We're gonna talk about Premier League.
yeah, so it's been more
Last
than 5 games.
last Premier League game was March 4th when you guys beat Aston Villa 4-1.
That's the last time
Since
they scored in the Prem?
Yep.
Yes, since then
Wow.
you've lost 1-0 to Newcastle, 3-0 to Everton, 3-0 to Man City, 1-0 to Man United, and 3-0 to Brighton.
Mm. And for those who don't know, for those who do not
Esteval was
know,
not available.
no, no, that's actually not what I was gonna say. What I was
Oh,
gonna say,
well,
uh, yeah, he wasn't even available. Yeah, I think he got injured the game before that. But no, that's not what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say is this, is that uh, this has not been done since 1912 at Chelsea FC. This record here, for those who don't know. So yeah, man, this is a club in the slums, in the dumps. But hey, we have an FA Cup tie coming up, and honestly, bro, this is what Chelsea's about. You know, we axe a manager, we'll bring in a new one, and we're gonna look to secure some more trophies. So, Liam, thank you, adios, and bring on the next guy. Bring on the
wait,
next guy.
whoa, hold up. When Liam had this stretch of like 2 or 3 games that you guys are winning, and you're like, yeah, he's generational. He's gonna do X, Y, and Z for us. This is amazing. The style of play, and CJ's like, relax. You guys are facing like mediocre competition, and like, no. And I said he's not gonna even survive to the end of the year, and you're like, absolutely not. He's gonna get until the end of next year. Are you gonna admit that you're wrong?
I will say this. I will say this. In regards to Liam's situation, I will say this. I will say this. And also, so sorry, I brought you guys a stat, right? That 1912 stat. There is another stat that I don't think you guys are even aware of. For the last, I don't know how many games in the Premier League, but a few games, Chelsea FC has created the most scoring chances or attacking chances or something like that out of all the teams in the Premier League. For those of you who do not know, um, it's a big stat when you think about it, right? The fact that we were um, the team to be able to create the most. It's just the fact that one, right, the ball's not going into the back of the net. And again, I think with Liam, on the attacking front, I liked his ideas. I gotta admit, I liked his ideas. I like the patterns of play. I will say that on the defensive side of things, I think that is where he probably needed a bit more attention on that. The personnel did not help, if we're being honest, right? Because on one end, even with Maresca, who is a more experienced manager, we have seen what it looks like for the Chelsea back line, right? So, um, was he the right fit? I
No.
guess, right? The sacking has spoken for that. Hence why he's no longer here. Um, does he have the capabilities of being an extraordinary manager, of surpassing his LinkedIn persona? I think so. I think so. I think with time and experience, and if he finds a club that is willing to give him the opportunity, and the players, he can have his players. I can see him doing great things, if I'm being completely honest. But it's going to take time, right? And it's going to take experience for him to get there.
He needs to check his arrogance if he's gonna get another job. He has nothing to his name. He needs to check his arrogance. Someone like Pep Guardiola, Jose, Conte, like they can have the arrogance because they've done it. They've done everything. And I think that's where Liam Rossini started failing at Chelsea. First interview he get, he's like, "Yeah, I'm a manager." And if you break down the word manager, it's man ager. So we are aging man. It's like no, like stop trying to like no, you're not smart. You're a footballer. You're not brilliant. You don't have a degree in like business. Like you're a footballer. Don't try to act like something you're not. And some of these press conferences, some of the shit that he was saying, like you got like him going back at reporters asking them why would you ask that question? Like, bro, you've been here for like 2 minutes. Humble yourself. And if he's acting like that in front of the media, you wonder how he's acting like that in front of World Cup winners, players that have actually won things. He's never won anything. He got the job because he was inside Blue Co. Whether you want to admit it or not, that's the only reason why he got the job. And now players are saying, going to the owners, rumors are that's coming out that they're going to the owners and saying if we don't have a good coach, a lot of players want to leave. And judging by the way that you guys are in the standings, like you're in eighth place on 48 points, the teams around you have a game in hand. The likes of Brentford, Everton, even Sunderland is right there, right? Like it would be terrible for Chelsea from an FFP standpoint, from every single angle that you look at it. If you guys don't get any form of European football, you guys are screwed. And to be honest with you, I know I'm running out of the structure a little bit. I think Leeds beat you guys at Wembley. If you guys are playing like this,
But we're not. That's the thing. And there is a reason I feel like we have been playing like that and I generally think it's because um the Liam lost the dressing room, and it was on the back of that second PSG defeat. Shortly after that, you might even allow him another game, but after that, if you noticed, in terms of the player performances, right? They not good, not good. Players that aren't looking to put in the required effort, right? The bare minimum. So I credit that more so to the players just being completely disinvolved with the
but
manager.
but there's only one team in the world that can turn it on when big moments happen.
Yeah, Chelsea. I mean, you laugh, but did we not win our Club World Cup against the PSG in that manner? No, this is a genuine question, right? I know you guys don't want to claim the two Champions League titles we have, but again, even those, right? Big moments, big moments. We had to turn up for those games, right? We were underdogs, no? So by all means, if we're going to be underdogs versus Leeds, as some of you might go and take that negative, then you can bet that if there's one team that knows what it's like to be underdog and to come out on top, it is Chelsea FC.
Chelsea play to the level of their competition. They do not get up for big games.
I would disagree.
Chelsea play to the level of the competition that they're playing against. And I don't think you guys have what it takes to beat Leeds. You guys clearly haven't in 2 games this year when you guys were healthy.
If we don't get over the line, one, it's because again, I don't think you guys are realizing Esteval is out, hamstring. He might even miss the World Cup.
That's one
Uh,
player.
bro, that's such a again, you can't even say that because what you're not realizing is
If I
if you're
said Saka
hold on,
was out, you'd be like, "Oh,
hold on,
that's one player. He
hold on,
hasn't
hold on,
done."
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You realize if you're missing one player when the other players that play in those positions, right? Um, like what's it called? Or like your other
Garnacho,
wingers. No, you see,
Gittins.
you can't even consider Garnacho, right? That's what I'm saying because Garnacho is a complete non-factor. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like you have to think out like you're missing a player now,
So,
right?
but
Like,
whose fault is that?
Yeah, you can't look at it like
huh?
that. You're a big club. You
Like,
spent the money,
No,
you
no, no.
know?
Again, we can all agree to this or to yeah on that point of the money wasn't spent, right? Blah blah blah, this and that. But we're here now, right? We're here now. You're looking at the state of affairs. You're looking at the squad, and if that player Esteval, right, like is such a crucial piece to the attack, if he's gone, bro, that is a big loss.
yeah,
So
but
it's not
Yeah,
just
and no one's
again,
gonna give
you're
you guys that excuse though.
no,
yeah,
no.
you guys spent $2 billion, and if you guys are in that position after spending that much money and the type of players that you brought in, no one's gonna have any sympathy for you.
Hmm.
Bro, we're
Leeds
not
have
asking. No one's asking for sympathy. I'm just trying to tell you that if we do not get over the line, right, it's
that's an
because the attack.
excuse.
All
You're
right, so yeah, wait, hold on. Who? Jao Pedro might not even play, right? You guys understand that, right? Jao Pedro might not even play, and he's our top scorer. So
Hmm.
who? Who there? Who there? Delap?
you still have Palmer, you still have a World Cup winner in Enzo Fernandez, you still have
Wait,
Caicedo, you still have Pedro Neto.
yeah,
Yeah.
but those guys, for one, those guys aren't even known for scoring,
It
right?
does that again.
Yeah,
Cole Palmer's not known for scoring.
no,
Enzo Fernandez is not known for scoring.
I'm talking about Caicedo and Neto.
Again, I have zero sympathy for
But
you guys.
I'm not
And you
asking for
guys
sympathy.
have you
It's
guys that's exactly what you're okay, then you're just making excuses. You're
no, what
making excuses.
I'm making a solid analysis that when you look at the squad, right? For one, we've struggled to score in last 5 games. All right, we've struggled to score in the last 5 games. Pedro was out for a few of those. Esteval, um, I believe was missing in a few of those as well. Garnacho, non-factor. Who do you play there? You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it
but if I
there's
were to say this to you, Laurent, sorry, but if I were to say this to you about Arsenal's situation, you would say, "Oh, well, you're just making excuses."
but I think you guys in terms of your overall bench, you guys actually have the depth, unlike us.
Not necessarily.
I would disagree, bro. I would disagree. I would disagree.
Whatever team you guys put out there should still beat Leeds, right? Can we agree on that? Look where Leeds are on the table, recently promoted side compared to Chelsea, who's invested, as we all keep saying, £2 billion, right? Over 2 billion. Like the investment, if you pound for pound, player for player, Leeds 11, you're 11, whoever you guys put out, we're still talking about international footballers for their countries, right? How many of Leeds players are capped, But Pedro Neto's capped for Portugal, um, and the likes. Pretty sure even Garnacho might have a cap here and there. He's been called
Yeah.
up. So
Bro, can we not talk
whatever
can
we
we
say
not talk
about,
about that guy,
well,
bro?
he's in your squad and he's going to be used, right? So
Yeah.
he's just not going to be the scapegoat and the reason why you guys lose. Oh, if we lose, it's because of Garnacho. Well, you guys bought him for X whatever amount of money. and he probably would maybe get into Leeds team. So still that's still better than what they have on paper, right? So whatever you
I
guys
would,
you get,
I,
whatever
shit,
whatever
I
team.
think I would disagree with that, bro. Like, I'd probably watch the Leeds wingers, and I'm telling you, I might find something in them that I don't see in Garnacho.
Well, funny enough, he might fit in their system because Leeds they play an attacking brand of football. But
Mm,
pound for pound, again, player for player, you guys should still, regardless of who you put out there, right, should get the job done against Leeds, right, on paper, surely. And
And
I don't know if you're saying if you were making that narrative yourself or if that's something else something else that the media might be saying, but you're definitely not underdogs in this game. you guys
no.
you guys should go there to win. Like there's no underdog narrative for Chelsea in this one. You guys should be the favorites regardless of your situation, regardless of whether you have a manager or not, regardless of the current state of affairs, regardless of who's available. Chelsea are not
Mhm.
underdogs in this game, so we can't use that narrative. We can't say, well, woe is me, this player might not be available. That you guys are the favorites to get through regardless, right? So
And you guys
whatever.
had one extra day of rest. You played Tuesday, they played yesterday.
Chelsea are the favorites in this game, make no mistake about it.
Big time.
mm. So curious, Murad, how come you didn't bet on the favorites?
Because I don't think you guys are gonna win.
Mm,
Genuinely, I
interesting.
don't think you guys are gonna win.
So what are you seeing?
What do you mean? What do I see?
I mean, to give that assessment.
You guys are defensively in shambles. There's no connection in your midfield.
Mm,
And from an attacking sense, you guys are broken.
mm. So
And I think
if I
from
said exactly what he said, I'm looking for sympathy. I'm not being
no,
analytical.
because what you're saying is you're saying it comes down to one player. I don't think it's one player. I think you need to look at your roster and you need to change the lineup and put personnel in there to utilize your roster more appropriately. Like the one thing that I would do if I was a Chelsea manager is I don't want to start with the lap. I'd rather try to pull Leeds defensive players outside of position. Because if you get into a battle with trying
So
to
who do
be
you put?
physical, who I would play Neto at the nine. So you play him at the false nine, or you could play him on the wing and play Cole Palmer as a false nine and push up Enzo, and then play Andre Santos and Caicedo as the sitters. Like you have to get creative with it, something like that, because you can also play Malagusto there. You can play Reece James. No, Reece James is injured. Sorry, Reece James is injured. But like I would want to do something like that.
Mm.
Right. I know you don't like Garnacho, but I think Garnacho is decent on the left wing. He's not a right winger,
Bro,
right?
he's not decent,
And
bro.
let's be clear
That's
about this. Decent enough to get the job done against Leeds, right? Surely.
nah. Nah.
Even if he is playing like shit, if he can just give, if I'm the manager, if I tell him, hey, you got 60 minutes, just keep running down the wing and make the left back tired, sorry, make the right back tired, great. Because
He's
then
not
I
even
know at
gonna
the
do that.
60th,
He's not even gonna do that, bro. Like
okay, whatever he does, it's still going to be good enough because then at the 60th minute or 55 minute, when I bring on Liam Delap and I put Pedro Neto on the wing, Neto's going to have a field day because the right back's going to be tired running down and forth on the wing. You have to try to utilize the players that you have, and I think
Yeah, there's no excuses.
where the way that Liam Rossini looked at it is like he's just picking players that are in that position. You got to get creative with the lineup, play with a false nine, do something different.
You guys are still gonna have more match winners on the day than what they're gonna have, you know,
Like you guys still
internationals.
have a decent like you can dominate the midfield and you can win from the midfield.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's true.
Like straight up, you guys have a lot of midfielders that you can just dominate through there and you can win just from the midfield.
again, I think you win by scoring goals. And Palmer's side, Enzo, even when you see Enzo, I don't think Enzo is as clinical as you make him sound to be.
He's not clinical, but he
Um,
pops up in important goals. All you
Yeah,
guys need is one
that's still a
goal.
match winner for you guys for sure. Enzo,
You guys just need one goal to win, right? Like that's all you need.
again, listen, we'll see, man. We'll see.
I still don't think you guys are gonna get over the line because I don't think you guys are defensively sound. Has nothing to do with the players that you're missing. I just don't think the system that you have is defensively sound. And I think your players are kind of clocked out. This is your third coach or manager or fourth manager, or I don't even know how many managers you've had this year.
Well, technically, this is It's the same guy, so yeah, you can count
The
on
the
that.
youth coach, right? Is gonna,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, anywho's, um, I know we touched on it, CJ, Burnley City. I watched the entire game. Um, when City scored that first goal, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, shit.
Yeah, you're thinking it's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, it's gonna be like 5-6. Like they were on it. And then as soon as they scored, Burnley had a counterattack, and I was like, oh my God, like Burnley's gonna tie. And obviously they don't have the clinic clinical players to do so. That's why they're relegated. But City did not look good. And who knows what's going on with Rodri because he had a groin injury.
Hmm.
Who knows if he's going to play against Southampton this week or if they're going to just try to hold him off for that game against Everton at Hill Dickinson. But you could see that the physicality in the midfield from a lower table team was getting to Man City. Obviously, the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, it's not as physical. There's more tactical, players in there. So, there's a little bit more tiki taka. But Burnley, they were just physically trying to dominate City, and it almost worked. Burnley had a chance at the death that they could have, if they got ahead on it, they could have scored. They had a couple really, really good chances, but um, obviously with that, City jumped to the top of the Premier League table because of goals for. Our goal difference is the same, but they have 66 goals for, and we have 63. So that's why they're in first place. But judging by the fact that they're not plus 40 now, right, for goal differential, they kind of gave Arsenal a chance. And I don't know if you saw post match when Erling Haaland was speaking with the reporter. The reporter kept asking him, like, "Oh, you guys should have scored more." He's like, "I don't know why you keep asking me this. We won the game, and that's all that matters." Yeah, you're rattled. You're rattled. You played Burnley, and you guys should have scored more. And your fans were in panic mode because they knew one goal and the title race is over. Because us three, we can all admit that this is the one game in the run-in that we're like, yeah, both teams are going to be Burnley. No one expected this result. If I would have asked you guys prior to this game starting, CJ, you probably said like 3 or 4-0. Laurent, you probably would have said something similar. And it was 1-0. So for me, promising. And I know we're going to get to the Arsenal game, but we play twice before they play again. And the game that they play is at Hill Dickinson, an Everton team that's fighting for European spots. So for me, I mean, there's light, and we need to capitalize on it. We didn't capitalize on it in December, January, and February, early March. It's now or never. Did you get to watch any of the highlights, CJ?
Uh, no, I saw Holland's goal on replay, and like I said, other than that, I did watch like the last 5 minutes of the game, and yeah, I mean, for me, there's not much more to say on it really. They won 1-0, so kind of like keep it moving. Um, yeah, you pretty much covered everything, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, right? When I just mentioned to you guys and to Laurent about how the surprise around the fact that it was only 1-0 and how that is slightly encouraging from an Arsenal perspective, and it leaves the door open for us a little bit. But we got to go on and do what we got to do, right? Which is a nice segue into talking about the Newcastle game. Because unless Laurent wants something to add on it, I mean, there's not much more for me to talk about with regards to the Burnley City game.
Yeah, no, like I mean, again, I know you guys are gonna think, well, the narrative would have been different. For me, um, I think the most important point here is the 3 points. Obviously, right, adding to the goal difference is a plus. But I wouldn't take it as it's the end for that. They still have a few games where even that Everton game, yeah, Everton is tough. But if Everton is going to look to play, right, depending on even if they open up, um, you that could be a plus for City, right? Um, right? If Everton is not going to settle for like a low block type game, right? So who knows how that works out? But I think for both teams, Arsenal and City, right? And for now, it's just making sure you get the 3 points, right? And then you kind of worry about the goal difference, you know, um, maybe later on. But for now, the 3 points is the most important part because any drop points, yeah, you shot yourself in the foot big time, right? So,
It's
To be honest,
over.
I think Arteta would say the exact same thing as you. I think he'll say that in his press conference tomorrow if he's asked about it. I think
mm,
he's going to be the first person to say the exact same thing and say, yeah, it's about the 3 points, and probably look at goal difference maybe when it gets down to 2 games, 3 games, kind of
mm,
thing.
right,
But for now, it's about getting back on track. I think
right.
even from our perspective, right, having lost two in a row, I think
Mm,
Arteta will come out and say, the most important thing on Saturday is going to be the 3 points. So to your point,
mm.
I think that's probably going to be the message from both clubs, like City and Arsenal at the moment.
Right, right. Yeah, no, because I think like also, and again, I'm not saying if you score one, don't sit back. You see what I'm saying? Obviously, right? But you want to limit or control your exposure, right? Because if you lose any game before you even get to those last 2 games you're talking about,
Hmm.
you have given up a massive advantage, right,
Hmm.
to the other team. So yeah, to add to your point, yeah, I think it could come down to those last 2 games where teams might be willing to take more of a gamble if they notice that it's still fairly close, right?
Hmm. CJ, you want to kick off the Newcastle game?
Yeah, sure, man. I mean, it's nice we've had a break this week. I believe Arteta gave the players a couple days off after the City game. So this is one of the last sort of times, I guess, where we're gonna have a full week off. After this, it's like, all hands on deck. We are still in another priority competition, which is crazy. We can't forget that. The Champions League is a massive one.
Mm,
Um, Yeah, and it's funny, man, because you couldn't script this, right? Sky Sports is loving this narrative of, two teams at the top of the league who level on points, even level on goal difference after. You know what I mean? It's almost like these are with the people that come out with these sort of controversies about, scripted and it's rigged, the league. I know it's a common thing with the NBA, right? The league is rigged and all that stuff. But yeah, for like the Sky Sports narrative, they're just loving this title race running at the moment. Like it's gonna, for the revenue that they're gonna get from in the the storylines that they're gonna be able to create with this is just, they're lapping it up at the moment. Because yeah, who would have thought? I mean, again, we're all expecting City to run up the goal difference, and the fact that they only won 1-0 means now again level on points, literally level on goal difference. It's a straight shootout, till the end for both teams. Like you couldn't have wrote a different script. It's crazy how it's almost pretty much aligned all across the board for us. The only thing obviously separating, they're on top because of the goal scored. But yeah, I mean, of course, everything else is damn near equal, and it's gonna
mm,
make it an interesting, fight to the finish. And if we are to win this, right, like, it's not going to be easy. I guess it was never going to be easy, right? Even with the points gaps that we had when we were 9, 12 points, whatever. Like, for Arsenal to win their first title in 20 plus years, maybe we were all crazy to think that we were gonna, sail to the sunset. But yeah, man, it's as Murdad said earlier, man. It's still on, it's still there for us. Like whilst fans like myself are a little bit down and pessimistic about our chances from here on out, that we can't think like that. We can't think about the past at this point. You just got to keep looking to the future. So the players have to look at it as this is still in our grasp and still in our hands. And even more so now that the fact that the goal difference is level. Man City did not, in fact, increase on goal difference. They're right there with us. The goal difference is neck and neck. So Arsenal, the club and the players and the manager still have to think that it's firmly in our grasp, and just put those defeats behind us. And yeah, we look to this weekend, and I think it's going to be interesting what we're going to do because again, whilst we keep looking and saying and talking about what City needs to do, we still have to do our bit, right? We still have to go 5 for 5 essentially, and the reason why I think that we'll come up just short. Like my reasoning for this is I think that City will still drop points in these last 5 games, but I also don't trust us to go 5 for 5. That's my concern. I hope I'm wrong, obviously, but that's the thing, right? Is we can look at City and say, they'll drop points to Everton or Brentford or Bournemouth, which is their stretch of 3 games that are very difficult. But will we go 5 for 5 with Champions League football still?
But who do you
No,
think will drop points against?
I'm concerned from right now. If you're asking me today, I'm a little bit concerned about the West Ham game.
Okay.
to be honest with you. And I want to get this one out of the way, this game on the weekend. And I'm going to be, put my neck on the line, I guess, and predict an Arsenal win this weekend, to be honest with you. And so I think, but once we get this one out of the way, I'll feel a little bit better because, after two losses in a row, after, winning only one game in six in our last six, it's that first game that you need to get out of the way, get a win under your belt, and then hopefully that instills confidence from here for the rest of the season, right? But it all starts on Saturday, and we got to get back on back to winning ways. Um, so that's going to be crucial, right? But when you talk about who has the advantage versus the disadvantage at this point, there's so many things that come into play, right? So if you look at it on paper, okay, 5 games for Arsenal, 5 games for City. City's, run of games looks a little bit more difficult. But then you look at Arsenal and you factor, well, Arsenal still has Champions League football. Like there's different variables, right, that make it who has the favorable run in. On paper, our Premier League run looks a little bit kinder to us because we're playing teams at the bottom half of the table with less to play for. Again, however, we still have two Champions League games in between to contend with, right? Whereas they're going to have the FA Cup this weekend. They're going to play a Southampton side, which we all expect them to be, and then they don't have to play until the FA Cup final later down the line. So there's just so much that comes into play. And I would increase our chances a lot more, if I'm being honest with you, if we didn't have Champions League football, funny enough. If we just had straight Premier League, 5 games to deal with and that's it.
I
I think,
disagree.
yeah.
I disagree. Yeah, because I think the year, not last year, the year before, when Arsenal got out in the Champions League and City was playing, that's when they did the trouble. When they were playing every 3 days, they had a rhythm,
Mm,
and I think we need that rhythm because we're not shooting at in all cylinders, and we need players to essentially play themselves into form. And I think playing an Atletico Madrid, while I do agree that it's going to take a lot out of us playing Atletico Madrid because the physicality and the emotion playing in a semifinal, especially against a Diego Simeone team, I think it's going to be a lot. But I also think it's going to help us to maintain that rhythm. Whereas City, they're going to face Southampton. They're no slouch, but then you got to go away to Everton. You're gonna have an entire week to prepare. There's only so much you can prepare in training. Your best preparation is you playing every 3 days because you're in that rhythm. You know how much you can give. You know how much you can't give. Whereas when you're off for an entire week, that's when you start seeing some players slack. And yes, I understand this is Man City, but they're still players at the end of the day. They're still humans. And I think if anything, the Champions League, when we get over the line and we get to the finals, it's going to be an added boost for us rather than it being a detriment.
mm. Yeah, well, that's at the expense of hoping that we don't have any injured players, right? And I would agree with you if we had a manager who knew how to, rotate the side properly and manage the players. But considering we're not going to be able to probably rotate a Declan Rice or a Zubimendi or a Timber or a Gabriel or a Saliba, and the fact that to this point, a lot of them are running on empty already. Um, whilst I'd rather be in the Champions League, of course, I still don't think that makes us have an advantage because again, we just have players who are already running on E. If we had managed the players better up to this point, right, from the start of the season, the way Pep does, I would agree. But I think the way we've mismanaged the players throughout the course of the season means the additional games, whilst you rather be playing the Champions League than not. I think the extra games at this point and the extra mental and physical fatigue is not gonna do well for the players who are already low on their mileage. So,
Hmm.
but listen, man, again, I'd rather be in it than not, right? I'd definitely rather be in it than not, and we're just gonna have to
Yeah,
hope and pray that nobody gets injured, right?
yeah,
Um, but as
and
far
get
as
some
this,
reinforcements back too, right?
well, yeah. So obviously the news in the media this week is that Saka, Timber, Calafiori could be back in contention for this game. Um, I don't know in terms of how you obviously they're missing some players as well. Joelinton suspended, Livermento's out with injury.
Gordon,
Apparently Gordon might be out with an injury, so they have Bruno Guimaraes back. But listen, man, think the we all know the assignment is 3 points, right? It's the mandatory assignment is this 3 points, regardless of who they put out, regardless of who we put out. We know what
hmm
we need to do. Our mission is clear, so 3 points is a must.
no questions asked. Yeah, and I think for this game, I would love to see if Saka's back for him to play just 20, 30 minutes get some minutes in his legs so that we can use him at the Metropolitano. Same thing with Timber. Um, it's gonna be big, and I think the one thing that I would ask, and I know CJ, you put out a video on this, and if you haven't seen it, please go to our channel and listen to CJ's video. Um, we need the Emirates to be backing the players.
Yeah.
We can't have any boos or groans or moans. Like we need that place to be supportive. We all understand the situation that we're in. Yes, we can say it again and again until we're blue in the face. We put ourselves into this position, but also insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. The last 3 years that we were in the title race, we were groaning and moaning when it got to the end, and we put that much extra pressure on the players. And now we just need to uplift them. We need to give them that support. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing this weekend. Because there's going to be stretches and there's going to be phases in the game that we're not going to have full control, right? No matter what you want to say about Newcastle and how they're in the mud, just like the West London team, like we should beat them. So for me, that's going to be the key. The fans of the Emirates and the traveling fans when we're going to away grounds, we need that support. The players need that support. You know, once the game is done, yeah, like you said, CJ, in your podcast, once the game's done, do whatever you want. But during that 90 minutes or 95 minutes, just give them the support. See how they respond. So, I'm excited for this weekend. I think we're gonna win. I've already put my prediction down as an Arsenal win, and you guys can put me down for Arsenal wins for the rest of the season. I don't think we lose a point.
Mm.
I think we win out. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it at the Etihad. We couldn't have that moment, but I think this group of players is going to do it. And they are going to get over the line. So put me down for an Arsenal win for the rest of the season, including Champions League.
Mm.
Well, what are you thinking about this game?
I think it's gonna be an interesting game. I mean, in terms of Newcastle for them, I don't think they're even they're not competing for much, right?
They don't have anything. They're just Eddie Howe's just trying to save his job.
Yeah.
They're sitting in 14th on 42 points. They're closer to relegation zone than anything else.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like for me, Newcastle, I mean they lost to Bournemouth, but I mean Bournemouth is quite in form. And they lost to Palace actually. That was the game before that.
Yeah, they're in a bad run of form.
Mm, I don't know. Yeah, I think well obviously it's a game you must win. Um However, I feel like it might be a tough one.
100%.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make it quite challenging for you guys. But all in all, though, like yeah, I mean, you guys have to get over the line, right? There's no other option here. So yeah, man, put me down for an Arsenal win as well, but only for this game, only for this game, and then the remaining four we shall see.
Mm.
Listen, I think we should definitely talk about how we think we're going to line up and tie that in with the keys to victory and how we think we're going to get over the line. I'm going to say this from the jump before we even talk about any lineup from back to front. But right off the bat, if we're going to have any success, not just this game but going forward, which obviously we know now, right, with the goal difference potentially coming into play and it maybe being a shootout, we're
Mhm.
going to need to score some goals, which means Arteta is going to have to be a little bit more brave and change his system a little bit.
Mhm.
And what that means to me, right off the bat, Eze and Odegaard need to start games together. However that
Amen.
looks, whether it's both of them, in the central midfield positions with one holding midfielder, or even if Eze was off the left, like he was in the City game, And Odegaard is on the pitch. We need more ball players. We need more ball retention players. We need more creativity on the pitch. And whatever you want to think about Odegaard, right? I'm in a similar situation, funny enough, on a different scale, like Laurent talking about the Garnacho thing. I have my beef with Odegaard, obviously on a different level. Like those two aren't the same kind of player, but I have my beef with Odegaard as well, right? Um, and I've done a video on Odegaard and what I think problems are there and stuff. But we have what we have for now, right? Odegaard, go out and prove us wrong. There's 5 games left in the Premier League, obviously two, potentially three in the Champions League. From here on out, go and shut everybody up. Show us that you are that guy that we can lift trophies with you as captain, right? He still has a chance to be a sort of cult hero status at this club if we can win trophies with him as captain, right? So I have my reservations with him, but we have what we have, right? Again, that's why it's similar to the Garnacho thing. We have what we have, so we have to play you. I don't necessarily think he's gonna be he's that guy. He's not the Kevin De Bruyne that he once, was overrated to be once upon a time. But we have what we have for now. And in order for us to get the best creativity wise, he's one of our better creative players, whether we like it or not. We don't have much. So
Mhm.
Odegaard needs to be on the pitch as far as I'm concerned, and he needs to play with Eze. I like how that looked in the City game, right? We all asked for Arteta to do something different in that game. Um, and he did. He was brave. He went for it with those two on the pitch and Eze on the left. So, going into this weekend and for the remaining games for the rest of the season, we need as much creativity and ball players and potential guys with moments, right? Let's be honest, because Odegaard, whilst he hasn't shown the 22-23 season form, he has moments in him still, and we need as
Mhm.
many guys with those moments on the pitch at the same time. And so Eze and Odegaard, I think, are going to be key to that. I also think, if we're talking about a three behind the striker, let's say, right? So you have your main number 9, whether it's a Kai Havertz, whether it's a Gyökeres, we typically will play with the three behind them. So you have maybe Eze on the left, Odegaard in that number 10. On the right, you'd love it to be a fit and firing Saka, right?
Mhm.
That front three slash front four, I think is how it's our recipe for success going forward, right? If we're gonna get anything from this season, I'm comfortable with that three behind any striker, behind whether it's Gyökeres or Kai Havertz. But Saka on the right, Odegaard in the 10, let's say Eze on the left, right? That again, you have
Wait,
difference
Eze on
makers
the
in
on
there
the left wing?
on the left wing, yeah.
But I swear in that position he's been the least productive, no? For you
Well,
guys?
well, we haven't seen it much since he made that mistake
Yeah.
famously against Aston Villa at Villa Park, right? When he
Mm,
didn't track back for the runner.
mhm.
Um, but again, we've seen that first of all, he's played there for England. He's played in that sort of position for Palace, and it's one of those ones where it's positioned on paper where you're on the left wing, but he in game, right? He drifts infield a lot, and
Yep.
again, we saw it in the City game, right? So once a couple times those transitions that we had where we had chances to break in the second half against City, that Kai Havertz chance where he fluffs it and hits it one-on-one at the keeper, that comes from Eze getting the ball quickly, playing it into Odegaard, who then played quickly into Kai Havertz, and that was
Mm.
Eze in that sort of left channel. So that can work, right? He can drift infield Eze from the left side. Then you have our left back, right, and Capier on the overlap that can get on the outside of him. So there's ways that can work, and again, it's up to Arteta to be creative with it. You know what I mean? So and I still think he's going to start with Zubimendi and Rice in midfield. Like he's not. I don't think we're going to go, the two attacking eights and one holder. I think because he's going to start with the Zubimendi and Rice together still. That's how you get Eze and Odegaard in the teams together still. You know what I mean? You have to play Eze off of the left and then Odegaard in the 10 with
That's,
Zubimendi and Rice
yeah.
behind.
It's gonna be the Burnley game at home where I can see him just
See
playing
him doing
Rice
correct. Yeah,
and then just going all out and try to
yeah.
get as much goals as possible. Yeah, I agree with you. The reason why I didn't go through the lineup is obviously one, we have your match preview, and two, I think the lineups, like at least for me, CJ, the lineup here on out picks itself. Everything you said, I think Arteta knows, and you just got to implement it now.
What would you
Straight
do
up.
at left back? Because for me, and this is a conversation to have for the summer, Calafiori is pissing me off. Like he's the Italian Kieran Tierney. Like he's a good footballer when he's on the pitch, but how often is he on the
Yeah.
pitch? Like he's very unreliable, right? And the best ability is availability. And if you're never fit, bro, you're just like
Gone.
you're a liability. Like I'm not liking what's happening with him. He's what at the times that we need him, you're injured way too often. You know?
Well, if you're playing Eze at left wing, I'm playing in Capier.
Yeah.
If you're playing Martinelli as left wing, I'm playing Lewis Skelly. So
Because to add to that, right, Hincapié is your more conventional up and down winger who will give you
mhm.
width, whereas you can't play. I don't think you can play as a left wing with a
Lewis.
Miles Lewis Skelly because they're both going to
No.
crowd each other's space, right? With a Martinelli, he'll hug the touchline, but Eze is not a touchline winger. If he's playing on the left, he's going to come inside, which is the
Hmm.
inverted spaces in midfield that Lewis Skelly will go into as well, right? So you're just overcrowding that area. So you're going to need
Hmm.
some width on that left side. So I agree with you, right? Like if you're playing Eze out on the left, you put in Capier there so he can create the width when Eze wants to come inside.
And he tracks back,
Yeah.
and Capia tracks back. So, um, my back line picks itself. I don't think Timber's gonna be back for this game, and if he is, I wouldn't risk him. I play the same back line that played against Man City. I play the same midfield that played against Man City, and I would play the same front three that played against Man City. I would have an unchanged squad because again, thinking a few days after that, when we're playing against Atleti and the Metropolitano, you need to have a physical Gyökeres for that game because their
Hmm.
defenders are physical, right? Yes, Kai Havertz can do it, but you want that physicality. You want that hold up play. So I'm also have one eye there, and you're gonna need Martinelli to be able to go up and down the wing, and that's a game where you give Eze the rest and you play Odegaard so that he can keep the pace of the game going, right? So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. But the back line, obviously, you can't really change for the Champions League in this Prem game. So that that's what I would look at. That's a line that I would want to see, right? But hey, Mikel has done crazier things. Um, Coming to the predictions leaderboard, Mr. Piana, you're fumbling the lead.
Yeah, no, I gave you guys an opportunity to catch up, remember? I forfeited 1 week. So, yeah, man. It is what it is.
For those of you that don't know, when Laurent didn't send his predictions in, when CJ was on vacation, he sent his predictions in. When I was out of the office, I sent my predictions in, but Mr. Piana did not.
Yeah.
So he forfeited, CJ forfeited a week to help us. Um, but both of you are stuck on 86 points. I'm on 80 points. Um, Arsenal, Newcastle, we all agreed. Arsenal victory. Chelsea Leeds FA Cup. I do have Leeds winning. Um, Not sure how you two see it, but I have Leeds win.
I'm
I
gonna go Chelsea.
personally think I personally think Chelsea is going to scrape it. I think somehow I would not be surprised if Leeds win, but I just think Chelsea will scrape it. And it's not even because I think they're going to be convincing or play well. I think they'll just somehow slightly have too much on the day.
Mr. Piano?
Yeah, bro, Chelsea.
Okay, just making sure. Um, our little brothers are relegation battling. Little brothers, Nando's FC. The chicken is being hunted by the wolves, and this week they play Wolves at the Molineux. The chicken head will be cut off, and I am predicting a draw. I don't think Spurs get over the line. Molineux has been a difficult ground for many that have went there, and with the way that Spurs are currently playing, and with the way that their back line is, and the disconnect in the midfield, I think Wolves get a result. I don't think they will win, but I think they will get a result, and I'm predicting a draw.
Hmm. Hmm. And you said it's at the Molineux.
Yes, sir.
Mm. Tottenham. Were you guys convinced by their last performance?
No, not at all.
I mean, I swear they were leading twice, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This might be dumb, but
You're gonna go Spurs win?
I kind of feel like this is where they may get their one and only
Damn.
win. Yeah, so I think Spurs might actually get edge this one out.
Cipriano, are you gonna copy him or are you gonna copy me? Or go out on a limb and say Wolves win?
No, I'm definitely gonna copy one of you.
Which one will it be?
That's the thing, man. That's the thing. Who to copy?
Do you
Ah,
copy your favorite Arsenal fan or your least favorite Arsenal fan?
bro, I don't have no favorite Arsenal fan, bro. Y'all are on the same fucking equal footing for me, bro.
Oh shit.
But fuck. Yo, this I think this is the hardest prediction for me so far. Wolves Tottenham.
Oh, I love how serious he's taking it. It's amazing.
Remember, this is the guy that says he doesn't take time with his predictions, huh? Holy.
Hey, CJ, if we speak, we'll be in trouble.
This has got to be record time, Laurent.
Definitely not. You've taken longer, bro.
No, no, no. The record time is you versus you, bro. You're beating your own record right now.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're right, and definitely am beating my own record. But only because we're tied, and because your thing is different than mine. You know what I mean? So if
Just stop
I,
delaying, man. Fucking hell. Just pick, man.
oh fuck.
Just say Spurs. You know
Just
you're
yeah,
gonna
just
say
say Spurs.
Spurs.
You know you want to say Spurs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Spurs. Ah, fuck.
Fuck all that. All of that. Well,
It's like, yeah, I wanted to see it your way, Murdad, but bro, Wolves, I don't know, they don't convince me, man. In a situation like that, I could see a draw, but
and Spurs convince you?
I mean, yo, I feel like they played the best football they've had in a long time in that last game versus Brighton. It's just on the defensive end, right? And I think, bro, even Brighton, they scored in the it's like last minutes, bro, like dying seconds. So they could have won that game if we're being real. Um, yeah, it's Wolves, man. I can't. A draw is a good result, but
Draw is a good result.
Not for Spurs though.
huh?
Not for Spurs.
Yeah,
For
no, no,
what?
no. But I'm saying like for the prediction of this game, a draw
Mm.
is a solid result. But when I look at it, I don't think I think Tottenham can find a way to score.
Hmm. Okay. Like you always say, only time will tell.
Yeah,
We
that's true.
got important games this weekend. We got Man City, Southampton, in one side of the FA Cup, and then we got Chelsea facing Leeds on the other side of the FA Cup. Arsenal look back to get on the win column. There's tough battles in the relegation zone, and where you can catch that all is at the Gunners Corner, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. We're 101 episodes in. We got 101,000 more episodes that we're prepared to do. All this therapy session, banter, hatred, love. I mean, I'll still
We
drink a beer with Laurent.
yeah,
Doesn't
no,
take away from the fact that he still doesn't have a Chelsea get 101 episodes in. But hey,
I was gonna say you don't get all that packaged into, one place. All those things you mentioned. The banter, the love, the hate, the animosity, the support, all of that. It's all bundled and packaged into 1 hour of just fucking nonsense.
for a
So,
cheap price of 59.99.
uh, yeah, no, but this is good. This is good. This is
Terms
good.
and conditions apply. Please make sure that you read the fine print.
Mm, But yeah, man, yeah. Listen, Champions League is also coming back, so I'm excited for that more so than the Premier League for now. If I'm being completely honest, because I'm trying to see how you two are gonna, right, Atleti and Arsenal are gonna edge it out. Because yo, you guys dealt with them in the last game. they're coming for blood. I feel and I think you guys know that, right? That
Oh yeah.
Diego Simeone remembers that. I feel like he's the type of manager too, you know. He probably goes to bed with the result of these kind of games, right? And bro, you guys are laughing, but my gosh, bro.
He has a printout of it, turns
Yeah.
over. Ah!
Yeah. Yeah, so
As
no,
his breakfast, looking at it, being like, fuck, fuck, fuck.
yeah, no, but that'll be a good game. So we'll cover that on the next one. And yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned and lock in for real. And you gooners out there stressing and whatnot, when I was telling you not to stress, well, now's the time to stress. Now's the time to fucking hold on tight, cause either you guys do it. Whoa, pause. Is that what that was? A pause moment?
What?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were calling me out. You were calling me out there,
No,
bro.
I'm just saying it. Like, if I speak,
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, keep stressing. And
Oh, oh. You told me to stress. I'm stressing.
mm,
Stressing.
yeah, like that. There's that black guy that was caught on cam. Actually, there's a bunch of you, but during the City game, there's that one black guy in the stands. Bro, you guys know who I'm talking about. If you watch the game,
I don't.
Yeah, very, very descriptive, Laurent. That one black
bro,
guy.
nah, there was only one, bro.
Like, yo, what?
There was only one that had a cameo, bro, and he actually made it to the socials. There's no way you guys didn't see him, but that guy was stressing, bro. That guy was stressing. I'll send you guys a picture, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, like this man behind me said, it's
It's
not
not.
over. Neither is this pod. It's not over. We got 101,000 more pods to come your way. CJ's got the pre-match preview coming up tomorrow. It's gonna have the post-match reaction as well. Just make sure hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell. We can be found on YouTube. We can be found on Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. We're constantly interacting, and this, like CJ said earlier in this pod, this is a therapy session. Comes with a little bit, maybe a lot of banter. Maybe some of it is PG-13 and some of it is just rated R. We'll just make sure that we submit our ticket to HR so that we don't get in trouble. Um, but definitely a more tamed podcast this time around. Um, Laurent, we got our hand slapped by HR, and now it's on to bigger and better.
Laurent, is there anything you want to say to the Chelsea fans before we sign off?
Yeah, like, I mean, like, don't think this is the end, boys. We've been through this. I think Ian John Terry has said during his time he's seen 17 different managers, right? So we haven't quite reached that number just yet, right? This is the Chelsea way. There's only one way, and that is off to the guillotine for those that come in and do not perform. And our Lord and Savior was taken to the guillotine a few days back. We wept for what accumulated to be about a nanosecond, and we kept it moving. So now on to the next one, and on to more trophies at Chelsea FC. And remember, boys, we are still world champions. And with that, salute.
In other
Adios.
words, people, Chelsea fans, you guys are fucked. Nothing to look forward to. Adios.
All right.